Pam Bondi demands an investigation into Act Blue. What does this have to do with Kari Lake? Everything. They're probably why she lost in Arizona, this corrupt Democrat funding for their candidates. And they are probably receiving foreign money. So foreign money comes in and then they use it to elect Ruben, Gallego, Katie Hobbs. That's what the Democrat Party thinks of Arizonans. As you know, they think all, including the McCain supporters that voted for Ruben Gallego and would not vote for Kari Lake, they think you're dumb suckers. And if you don't vote for a Republican, if you vote for a Democrat, you are a dumb sucker. Welcome to Doug in Exile. Shout out to the Quad Club, my people that make me so happy. Thank you guys for watching. You're keeping me company while the beloved Miss Tenaple has taken a short trip with our son to Japan. It's for a class he has to take at his school on international studies, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, let's take a look at this Kari Lake news. First, I'm going to start with a piece of ancient history. Okay, we got to do some backup on Act Blue first, guys, so you really understand the implications of this. Act Blue is one of the top donation sites that end up funding everything. Hillary Clinton is behind it. They're all washing money through Act Blue. So Kari Lake, War Room. This is from April of this year. Through Act Blue, this is a quote, Ruben Gallego received 2004 individual donations from a random guy in Pennsylvania. There you go. 2004 different donations in Pennsylvania. This is a unique structure over at Act Blue that allows people to make micro donations, small $1, $2, $5 donations, and they wash it across 2004 donors. In this case, it was the same guy. One guy gave 2004 donations. Does that sound reasonable to you? He was surprisingly popular with the small donors from Massachusetts. Gallego, $8 million worth, including 57 donations from an unemployed woman named Virginia Smith. These are made-up names, laundering votes, and now Pam Bondi just today announced we're investigating them good.
Meanwhile, President Trump is directing the Justice Department to investigate Act Blue. This is a Democratic donation platform.
Before we get into Act Blue again, because Trump is pulling the trigger on this is the very start of election integrity. They're going to get to, I'm not for paper ballots, okay? I mean, I get why you need them, but I think in a machine age, and with mail-in ballots and stuff, fine. It's wishful thinking is all I'm saying. I don't want corruption. Yes, you should have to bring an ID. Yes, you should have to prove citizenship to get a mail-in ballot. We should always be, and vote precincts should be for able-bodied people, and mail-in ballots should be for people that can't make it to the ballot box.
And the focus as the allegations about illegal straw donors and foreign contributions. Mark Meredith is live in Washington with more.
Straw donors are those 2004 little mini donors. And they also can't track foreign contributions, which we know the Chinese sent contributions through the Clinton Foundation to Hillary Clinton.
This has been brewing for a while, Mark. What do we need to know?
Dana, for years, you're right about this, but this is a big development. The White House is directing the Attorney General to investigate the Democratic Party's top fundraising platform. It's called Act Blue, and the president says he wants to know if foreign money is being donated to the group and then utilized to sway elections. Democrats are calling this probe a dangerous abuse of power. Act Blue is an enormous operation in Democratic politics. It's raised more than $16 billion since 2004.
So $16 billion since 2004, you can see how in a close race like Kari Lake, how that would be trouble, right? That would easily be the difference. A few $100,000 would make the difference between Kari Lake winning and losing.
I've seen the text pop up from candidates saying, please donate, go to the Act Blue website. Republicans use something similar called Win Red. There was a new memo signed on Thursday directing the Attorney General to investigate if foreign nationals are using the Act Blue platform to bypass campaign finance laws.
Of course they
Trump wants a report out in 6 months.
So we're going to get a report on this in 6 months. Of course, if you subscribe, then you'll get the news from here first. And I'm happy to hear a little more kind of an update. This is from Mike Davis on Kari Lake, exclusive. Google caught flagging GOP fundraiser emails as suspicious. Do you see that? So if GOP sent a fundraiser, you know how we all get these spam fundraisers from Republicans. If you're a Democrat, you get them from Democrats. But Google flagged them as suspicious, sending them directly to the spam folder. That is bad. That's how Democrats, they run all of media, big tech. They're manipulating entire campaigns. Here's Kari Lake. These so-called journalists at the Arizona Republic, are liars who misled the people of Arizona for decades. Now they're being let go. Another newspaper getting canned. She says, good riddance, rot in HE double hockey sticks. This is Bloodbath at the Republic. Dear readers, we're supposed to be on vacation this week, but we just heard some very bad news. The corporate morons at Gannett, who own it, have offered another round of buyouts to their top talent at the Republic. We're losing some of the best reporters and columnists in Arizona that only reported negative news about Kari Lake and positive news about Gallego and Christy Hobbs. Meanwhile, here's Kari Lake.
About your gubernatorial race, which I'm sure you're aware of, back in 2022 against Katie Hobbs. These new emails they show from Arizona State University president, they pressured Arizona PBS to offer your opponent, Katie Hobbs, an interview after she refused to debate you, even though that went against the rules of the Citizens
Elections Commission, PBS. The government was funding them, even though Kari Lake, I remember Katie Hobbs dodged Kari Lake for a debate. She would not go toe-to-toe with her. And PBS was pressured to give Katie Hobbs free airtime for refusing to debate Kari Lake. This is your government helping just one Democrat network, right? Help a Democrat opponent of Kari Lake. That's why we defunded PBS. Google's doing it through emails. Act Blue. These are illegal donations. No one will go there. Here's Mike Davis again on Kari Lake. This question: how do you know Kari Lake is doing an outstanding job for President Trump? Answer: she's the target of winning hit pieces from left-wing rags. So she hasn't been big front on the public, but I know my audience, those of us in exile, love Kari Lake. She really helped establish this channel. I just reported on her every day. I was first to report on her and pretty thorough about it. Here's the Atlantic. Kari Lake's attempt to deport her own employees. Their time here is up, she said, of J-1 visa holders who worked for Voice of America. Her own employees, the ones at Voice of America, they're going to have to go, according to Kari Lake. Here's David Folkenriff. Is Kari Lake a CEO? The U.S. Agency for Global Media has said so. The law suggests not. My story for NPR, National Public Radio. They're still doing it, even without government money. This is why you get no money, guys. No money for you. Newsmax. Kari Lake to Newsmax. Woke must be destroyed. Election integrity, the key. She's the one that has Trump and Pam Bondi's ear on the election integrity stuff. And Trump, that's the next thing to roll out, guys. Election integrity is coming. It's not front. It is not front and center of an issue. Not since 2022. Okay, Democrats have moved on to other forms of winning elections, like specifically lawfare and getting illegals to vote. But we still have to go clean up all that voting. Trump, it's Trump's big hobby horse. He believes in it. It's just not the first thing. They're getting to it now. They're starting to roll this out. It's going to get bigger. Kari Lake, senior advisor to the U.S. Agency for Global Media, delivered a fervent message to Newsmax on Monday night. She wants nothing less than the complete eradication of wokeism. I'll give you my version of that. She can't say destroy the Democrat Party. I can. I want the Democrat Party destroyed. I want them gone. She's saying end wokeism, end the Democrat Party, and you end wokeism. Lake dismissed the idea of merely resetting woke ideology on the Rob Schmitt Tonight. I don't want a reset. I want woke destroyed. There you go. We want the Democrat Party gone. Oh, look, here's an old Behizzy post about So this will show you Act Blue being investigated by Trump. Here's Act Blue's work on the Ruben Gallego campaign. He reported on this back, when was this? October of 2024, right before the election. Breaking: Kari Lake's U.S. Senate opponent, Ruben Gallego, has just been implicated in a massive fraud campaign donation scheme, the same scheme that has led to 20 states opening investigations against Act Blue. So this has been a long time coming for Pam Bondi to address. It includes donations from a dead person. The story published by Conrads and Jordan shows that 24 of the top reported FEC contributors aged 62 to 95 years old have made 1,400 donations to Gallego since 2018. Usually the victims are elderly people who may have made a donation to Democrats through Act Blue once or twice, but then their identity is stolen to launder money indefinitely. The Gateway Pundit was able to reach the contributors on the list. So what you do is they would go door to door and ask a lady, they find an address of giving to a Democrat 1,200 donations. They just go to the front door and say, did you give 1,200 donations to the Democrat Party? And the people answering the door would say, no. So that's how they've discovered and unraveled Act Blue. You can't do a lot about what Act Blue has done in the past. All you can do is learn from it, slap their hand with a fine, and then stop them from doing it the next time. This is about protecting 2026, guys. We look forward. You have to look forward. Here's one more. Potential campaign finance smurfs. That's called smurfing when you take the micro donations from people and run them into Act Blue. Financial smurfs influence Arizona's state election for Mexican cartel supporting Ruben Gallego. Kari Lake responds. Arizona didn't let another cartel stooge. Don't let another cartel stooge win again. Nearly 100,000 Act Blue donations that appear to be fraudulent small donor donations through a campaign finance mules, they're called, including over 1,400 donations to Arizona State Senate candidate Ruben Gallego. All of the micro donations that are illegal go to Democrats. And that, now that you're caught up on that, and we're caught up on Kari Lake, we will follow the Pam Bondi investigation into Act Blue. But the biggest place where I heard Act Blue's name being brought up was when I was following the Kari Lake election, because they very well could have caused her to lose twice. And that's why we have to just make Act Blue lose their license once, or destroy them, or have them thrown in jail. What do you guys think? Are you happy to hear from more Kari Lake news? Put down in the chat below, more Kari Lake, please. I'm Doug TeNapel. This is Doug in Exile, and shout out to the Quad Club. God bless you guys. I'll see you tomorrow.